Welcome to the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Good afternoon and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So we are going to get into a controversial topic. It is a topic that I've wanted to get into for a while. Some people you might get offended, but you got to speak your truth. So we're going to talk about Meghan Markle, the Princess of Color, which was the role that she dreamed up and played to a T, and how Meghan Markle is using the race card to manipulate Harry, the royal family, and the public. She is fooling people into believing she is the Princess of Color and that she's representing them and that she cares about the Black community. Now, Meghan is biracial. Her father is white. Her mother is African American. I understand, she is a woman of color. But during Meghan's entire upbringing and childhood, she was raised predominantly by her white father. Her mother, Doria, that she's even stated as saying, was more like a friend. She wasn't really a parent. Her mother, Doria, has been kind of in and out of her life. She was kind of a weekend mother. She was there for fun, but she really wasn't part of the raising process, the discipline process, the financial providing for Meghan process. Meghan even said we were like friends, and her mother was a free spirit. Her mother's been in and out of, she had some incidences with the law. Her mother has had her own journey, but as far as Meghan is concerned, most of her childhood was spent with her white family, raised by her white father. Now, her father, Thomas Markle, he wasn't a perfect parent, but he did work in Hollywood. He was I believe, a lighting director for a few television shows. And Meghan grew up in around Hollywood, being on the set of a couple of TV shows that her father worked on. She went to a very private, exclusive school that her father worked hard to pay for. He put her through college. That was predominantly white. She even joined a fraternity that was predominantly white. Meghan did not live in a Black neighborhood. She didn't go to a Black high school, a college, or a fraternity that was associated with people of color. Meghan also predominantly had friends who were white and dated mostly white men, and her ex-husband and Harry are both white. Okay, so you're looking at a woman who predominantly has identified with her white side of her family. But the minute she got with Harry, it all of a sudden became with, oh, I'm biracial. Everyone's mean and racist to me. Everything's about color. Everything's about race. And when she got married, she played the part of the Princess of Color. She decided this was going to be the narrative that she was going to use to make people like her, to make people side with her. This was going to be her platform, was the people of color, was race. She was going to play the race card. So during the time up to her engagement, they were accusing the press of being racist. And yes, there was a few incidents where people, not necessarily the press, but other people had stated things that were just not nice. I'm not going to say racism did not exist, but there were some people who made comments that's not called for. But overall, the majority of the people were just happy for Harry. Happy that he found someone. They liked Meghan. They liked Harry. It was a love story. Everyone was excited for a new royal wedding. I mean, who doesn't love a wedding? So when Meghan came on the scene, all of a sudden her family started speaking out against her. And I have to be honest, I felt bad for Meghan. I thought, oh my God, this poor woman marrying, and now here comes her white trash family on, TV, spewing lies and hate. They're all bitter because she doesn't speak to them. So I really wasn't for them. I didn't like her sister. I thought her sister was full of it. Her brother, I thought they were just trying to get their 15 minutes. Poor little Meghan, right? The sad truth is they were actually 100% correct. They actually warned people about Meghan. But Meghan then had a falling out with her father. I feel like she could have made up with her father, but I do not think Meghan wanted to share, one, the spotlight with anyone. She wanted to walk down the aisle by herself. And two, she didn't want to have a white father giving her away. That was not part of her narrative. Okay, she couldn't be the princess of color with her white family members sticking out. So Meghan ended up, not inviting anybody to her wedding from her entire family. Both sides, her mother's side and her father's side, the only person who came to the wedding was her mother, Doria. The token black mother was shelled out for the whole world to see because this was part of her race narrative. Poor Doria had to sit there all by herself. I felt so bad for her. She had to, sit there by herself and play the part of the parent. Even though she was technically the weekend parent, she wasn't the person who Meghan even considered a role model. She considered her a friend, but Meghan brings her out like, hey, this woman raised me. I'm going to give her all the credit. And the man who actually raised me, well, I don't even want him at the wedding. You know what I mean? She totally shunned her father who raised her, gave her the life that she has, and brought out the mother because the mother fit her narrative. Then she brought in the black preacher, the black choir, and then she had her black mother sitting in the pew. So she played the princess of color and the race card on the global worldwide stage. She blackified that wedding. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but for a woman who spent her life living in a white neighborhood, raised by a white family, going to a white high school, a white college, dating white men, marrying white men, part of a white fraternity, do you think for one moment Meghan sang in a choir at a black church? Do you see Meghan at the black cookout? Meghan's black mother was a weekend mother at best. You see photos of her as a child surrounded by her white family. You don't hear a lot about Doria and Doria's family. Doria's family, why weren't they at the wedding? Where were her cousins, her aunts, her uncles, her grandparents? Nobody. She had one family member at her wedding. Isn't that a little strange? So here she's blackifying the wedding because now she's playing a part. She's the actress. Don't forget, she is an actress. She's playing the princess of color, and she is setting the stage. Everything about her was erased from the minute she got on the scene with Harry. She played up 2 months into the relationship, she told Harry, I need security. They're hounding me. They're being so mean to me. So automatically, literally 2 to 3 months into the relationship, Harry had to speak out publicly on her behalf. That was the first manipulation. The second manipulation was she cut off her entire family, played the victim, and then she brought up the race issue. Then she blackified the wedding. The minute they got after the wedding, right, within a year, she started saying, well, the royal family's racist. It's like this was her agenda the entire time. Race card. Princess of color. She wanted to play up this narrative because, one, it's really popular right now. It gets people's blood going, and it's a big social issue, so she can jump right on that bandwagon. She can jump right on the bandwagon. And when they came out and accused the royal family of being racist on the Oprah interview, it was like she was literally putting the final nail in the coffin to her plan. She got married. She has a lot of people of color rooting for her now because, she needs them in her corner. So she's got all the, people of color thinking she's a savior and she's representing them. So, she's got them. Then she calls out, they're being mean to me and they're racist. Well, that's it. That's all people got to hear. People don't need facts. People don't need proof. They just need you to say it and they believe it. And that's it. That's it. So a lot of people believe her. Whether that happened or didn't happen, we won't know. But I personally don't believe it happened the way she said it happened. They have no proof. They won't call out the person who was racist. Well, why mention it? If you're not going to mention the person who was racist, then what was the point of mentioning it? What was the point? They did it because they wanted to damage the royal family. They wanted people to feel sorry for them because they can't just be like, we can't have our cake and eat it too. Wah, wah, we got cut off financially. Feel sorry for us. They had to come up with something to make them likable, to make people feel sorry. So what do they pull out? They pull out the Princess of Color race card because she's been playing up the race narrative since the minute she started dating Harry. The woman who grew up in the white neighborhood, who really didn't even talk to black people, who didn't identify with black people, all of a sudden is the Princess of Color. Right? Blackified the wedding, brought out the black family member. Everything's about race. Oh, the royal family's racist. Everything is about the race card because it's a good card to play. This is a mass manipulator. This is not a dumb woman. This is a woman on a mission to marry a rich man, to get famous, and to get back into Hollywood. She was a failed 36-year-old actress on a D-level cable show. Suits was not really that popular. Some people might have watched it, but it wasn't really that well known. It was also toward its last season. I think there was one final season, and the show is over. She knew that at her age, with her portfolio, she didn't really have a lot to offer the acting world. If you're a 36, almost 37-year-old actress and you just have been on a D-level cable show and you have one or two Hallmark movies and you used to hold a briefcase on a, game show, she didn't really have a lot of acting guys on her resume. People were not seeking her out. She was not an A-level actress. She needed Harry and to be a duchess and to have this huge royal wedding. Now her status is huge. Everyone knows who Meghan Markle is now, but they didn't really know her when she was first dating Harry. So when she got engaged, she had to make it work for her. What people don't understand is Harry was not a prisoner of royal life. Harry could have stepped back on his own. When Harry and Meghan got engaged, the Queen gave Harry and Meghan an option. Meghan could have continued acting and not been a working senior royal. Harry could have stepped back and said, hey guys, I don't really want to be in the fishbowl. Charles, he's slimming down the royals. Meghan and I, we don't want this. We want to be quiet. We just want to be married. Maybe I'll do a couple of my patronages that I currently have, but I don't want to take on any more. And Meghan wants to continue acting. She doesn't want to be a duchess. We don't need this huge wedding. We just want to be married, and she wants to sit in the cottage and cook roast chicken. Well, that wasn't what Meghan wanted. Meghan did not want to sit in the cottage and cook roast chicken for Harry. That's what Harry thought he was getting. That's not what he got. Cruella de Vil, that's who she is, Cruella de Vil. She pretends to be this really sweet person, but she's actually a mass manipulator. Meghan Markle is a manipulative woman with a mission and a plan. It takes a lot of skill and a lot of brain power to do what she did. This was not an accident, guys. This is a woman who knew exactly the card she was playing before she played it. She is a mass manipulator. She is a chess player. When you're a chess player, you have to think 2 or 3 steps ahead. And poor little Harry didn't see it coming. Poor little Harry, who says he reverts to a 12-year-old boy, he didn't understand the woman he married. He thought he was getting one woman because she was playing a part, and he got another woman. And now he's stuck. She's so good at manipulating Harry, she's convinced him it was his idea. That's how you know you're dealing with a class A manipulator, is when they change your entire world around you and then turn around and say, well, that was your idea, remember? Remember? I didn't do this. You did. You wanted this, remember? You wanted to leave. So Meghan Markle, the queen, the princess of color, the mass manipulator, she planned this from the very beginning. She planned it from the very beginning. And kudos to her, because it worked like gangbusters. So now everything with this woman is about, politicalism and wokeness. And, she gets on all the buzzwords, and she gets on the race card and activism, because now she wants to go into politics. You think Meghan is done? Oh, no, 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 no. Meghan's just getting started, guys. This woman isn't going to go away. And I hate to break it to you, but Harry's not going to be your final husband. I guarantee you Meghan's third husband, or fourth husband, if you believe she was married twice before, is going to be a billionaire, or he's going to be a political figure. This woman is using Harry as a stepping stone. Harry is just a stepping stone. She's going to get her token children out of Harry. She's going to get that child support. Believe me, she understands that. She's getting the clout and the title, but this marriage isn't going to be her final stop. I give it another 3 to 4 years tops until she completely annihilates everything Harry had, and then she's going to send him on his way, a broken, empty man with nothing to show for. But, he's got to pay her child support now, or the queen's going to have to pay child support to this woman from hell. She's going to marry a millionaire, a tech guy, a political guy. Mark my words, Meghan is going to go to a political office some way. She probably won't be elected because people really don't like her, but she's going to marry some man in power, or a man who's richer than Harry. I guarantee it. This is not the final stop for Megzy. Megzy's got a plan. Right now she's just playing the part of the Duchess of Sussex and Harry's poor biracial wife. This is the role, and poor Meghan, poor Megzy. Right now she's just monetizing herself, and she's putting out the children's book, and they got this Spotify deal, which, by the way, they've done one podcast in 6 months. I think that deal's dead, but they're just not really announcing it. Then they have the supposed Netflix deal, but I guarantee you, these two are going to have money problems very soon, because people love scandal for ratings, like we've talked about before. Oprah Winfrey was just eating this up with bread. She's dipping that bread in that gravy, and she's sucking it up because it's great for her. Oh, scandal, controversy, calling people racist. Oh, yes, yes, dip that bread in that gravy. Eat it up. She's got ratings galore. That's great for her. That's great television. And Dax Shepard, great for his podcast. Apple TV, loving it. Loving it. Great for their ratings. But what's happening is they're actually destroying their brand. Because after a while, people don't really want to be with people who are kind of toxic and controversial and negative. So it looks good now, and they're enjoying it. They think that they're king and queen of the world. But what they're not realizing is people like Spotify and Netflix, are very fickle. Okay, very fickle. We live in a cancel culture society, where they're only one really bad scandal away from being cut off. Harry had lunch with that socialite right after Prince Philip's funeral, the day of the Queen's birthday. He was seen with that socialite sucking up to her, trying to get money or whatever it is he was trying to get. Harry and Meghan live a very expensive lifestyle. She was sitting on the couch in a $9,000 dress, crying about money. Okay, this is a woman who likes nice things, jewels, Cartier love bracelets, the tank watch. This is not a woman who shops at Walmart or rewears outfits. She doesn't apply the Kate Middleton fashion frugal sense. This is a woman who wants designer items only. The best of the best for Megzy. Okay, poor Harry, you better start working hard for that supper, because Meghan's going to want some stuff. Meghan has him in a $15 million mansion already. So pretty soon those bills are going to start piling in. Okay, they live a very expensive lifestyle. Yeah, they have all this supposed money from Netflix and Spotify, but they didn't get paid the whole enchilada. They only get paid a portion. And if, anytime Netflix probably can cut them loose, you only get paid for the items that you actually produce. They've only done one podcast on their Spotify. I really doubt they got $15 million for that one podcast. You see what I'm saying? And now they're starting to be very negative and very controversial. People in Hollywood pretend to be, oh, poor Meghan and Harry, we support them. And then they disappear. People in Hollywood are very fickle. So they don't understand from a brand perspective. When you start calling people out racist and they were negative and they didn't raise me, right now it's good for those people on the shows they're on, but for their personal brand, they're starting to damage themselves. Pretty soon, they're kind of looking like a joke. People don't want to associate with that. They're becoming very toxic. Pretty soon, they're going to turn around and expect all these offers to come in, and people are, the offers are going to start drying up. Harry has that job with that company right now, but how long is that going to last, guys? I give it 6 months, and he's going to be out of there. Pretty soon, those offers and the money is going to dry up. That book is going to go right to the clearance bin. The bench is going to go right on the bench. That was a horrible children's book. It's already tanked. They're not going to make a lot of money from that. The Netflix deal for Invictus, okay, but I don't think they're going to get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars for that. Not to mention, they're doing a children's docuseries. Really? Okay. Do you want to see Harry and Meghan produce a kids show? I don't know. I personally feel like their appeal is only trashing the royal family. It's good for ratings, but pretty soon this record's going to get old. And if you just keep coming out slinging mud at people, after a while people go, okay, we've heard this before. Like, you're triggered, okay, your mother died almost 30 years ago. Okay. It's like, what else do you have to offer besides your old title and bashing the royal family? Pretty soon, their charm is going to wear off. And then you're just going to have an unemployed prince and his wife from hell, Cruella de Vil. I'm telling you, the money is going to dry up very quickly. The offers are going to dry up quickly. And when that happens, Nutmeg is jumping ship to the bigger and better person. I guarantee it. She's going to marry a man who's like a billionaire somewhere. She's going to pull a Jackie Kennedy and marry like a Jackie Onassis. You know what I mean? Like how Jackie went from Jackie Kennedy and she married Onassis, that weird Greek shipping billionaire. I can see Meghan pulling an Onassis. I really can. You guys think I'm full of it, but seriously, Nutmeg is not a dumb woman, and Harry is not the final destination. He was a stepping stone. Stepping stone. I see Meghan having 2, maybe 3 more marriages. I really do. I don't see Meghan just marrying Harry and riding off to the sunset. We're so happy. No. These two, she's going to burn him. She's going to squeeze everything she can out of him. And then the minute they become the toxic duo that nobody wants to touch with a 10-foot pole and the money dries up, and after she has her daughter, oh yeah, she's going to turn around and say, well, it's all your fault, Harry. I'm done with you. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I bet y'all $10. She's going to dump him in a couple of years, and then she's going to move on to marry some billionaire or some political figure, guys. This woman's not done. Anyways, let me know what you think about this princess of color, her narrative, her manipulation. Let me know your thoughts, guys, if you agree with me in my analogy of Meghan Markle and the role that she's playing right now on the worldwide stage. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check me out on TikTok. We pop off over there. Check out my merch. I appreciate you guys. Have an awesome day.